This is where we use this foot swap to put the hips down towards the floor. And I put weight onto Marie's hands here, and then this allows us to go into all our leg lock entries. Bring your hand up and roll your wrist forward. That creates tension. Control, I'm going to extend with my left leg, and then we switch to a butterfly hook. This just gives me like reverse X, kind of like saddle entry. So we're going to do 3 techniques on the shotgun footlock, and then we'll piece it all together, right? So from the same position, let's say that we have no success. So we've no success here in this false K-guard position. We can always go back to our half guard variation, so half butterfly, wherever it might be. Again, in no-gi, a lot of time you deal with like defensive opponents, and it's hard to get grips on them. All right, so what I want to do a lot of time in this position is sit up and get like over hooks to sweep, you know, get under the hooks to sweep, and maybe start to wrestle up from this position or whatever it might be. But you're not always going to get that, so we need like subtle little movements. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that grip we're using. The only difference now is we're playing like more of a half butterfly, so I'm going to go with this kind of false grip here to stop Marie from backing away. If she backs away, at least I have some type of connection here. All right, maybe this scoop grip isn't working like we talked about, so Marie's just like says she's wise to this, so she's not giving me the response that I want. So instead of like threatening the scoop grip, we're basically just going to grab the outside of the knee here, so we get our pinky into the crease of the knee. All right. Once this happens, I then do like say a forward shrimp. So I move forward and I look to get my knee behind Marie's hamstring. All right, so we have a wedge now behind her hamstring. I basically go from my right hip to my left hip, and I put weight onto Marie's hands here, and then this allows us to go into all our leg lock entries. Depending on where Marie wants to go, if she starts to roll over her left shoulder, this exposes her heel. If she starts to come towards me here, this allows us to go into our shotgun footlock, which we're going to work. All right, so it's a really subtle entry and works really well. So we'll go one more time. So again, we're taking this like false grip here. Don't grip it like say too hard where like you're creating a trap. All right, just kind of like get a nice little wrap on it here. We can't get the scoop grip, so I'm just going to get the pinky into the crease of the knee. If Marie tries to back her leg away and out, it's going to give me a little bit more control. So I do a forward shrimp, so that knee goes behind the hamstring first, and I tilt from my right hip to my left hip to get Marie to post in her hands, and then I bring my knee from her shoulder to her hip. Here, we pinch our knees around Marie's hip, and then we go into all of our attacks. All right, so 3, 2, 1. This is a real subtle entry in single leg X. If you have your own entry, obviously you can drill that and just slot the shotgun footlock into your game. I just find in these types of positions you've loads of options. Again, upper body attacks, lower body attacks, wrestle ups and so on. You can keep good shape. Obviously, like say if you're a half guard player, you can switch back to like a knee shield, a deep half, or you know, you can go into the dogfight position, wherever you want to work. So don't think of this as like say maybe changing your game, but just like adding to your game if you don't play it already, right? Again, if Marie comes forward and she's pressuring me, I can go into the chai bar, and I can do the chai bar from half butterfly. All right, so we can do it from this position as well. But say I can't get good grips on Marie, obviously, because it's no-gi and we're slippy, and she's just kind of like backing up. So we take this kind of like a false grip. So we have a wedge in front, wedge behind. Obviously you want to get the scoop grip, it's not working, so we just get this kind of pinky into the crease of the knee. We then do like a forward shrimp. The knee goes behind the hamstring, and I basically just switch everything from my right side to my left side by looking to my left. So head goes first, shoulders, hips, knees follow. All right, so I move, Marie pulls. All right, 9 times out of 10 when you kind of tilt someone in the opposite direction, they're going to try to build back up. So that's either like building back up on her knee, or maybe she's building back up on her legs. So she builds back up on both feet, and then depending on what she does, we're going to respond. If Marie just flops down towards the floor, this is just going to be easy. You can go into wherever kind of follow-up attacks you want. We've created a response. Marie's posting, she's now on her knees. All right, so the first thing I want to do is pinch the knees around the hip. I put my foot on Marie's hip and I create distance. So I want to keep weight on Marie's right hand especially. We then take a footlock grip so we get more control. I'm going to extend with my left leg, and then we switch to a butterfly hook. All right. Then the second foot goes onto the hip. All right, and I want as much distance as I can between my hips and Marie's hips. Whereas when you do traditional single leg X, you want your hips as close as you can. But on this one, we want distance. So I'm on my side again. So remember, we were saying that even in half butterfly, if I want to be on my side to kind of keep Marie away, if I don't use these frames and this pressure properly, Marie can put my right shoulder on the mat, and then she can start to go into different type of counters from here. All right, so this butterfly hook is basically allowing me to control Marie's knee because I want to break her ankle, all right? Not Marie's ankle, but whoever's ankle it is, right? But the right foot connected to the left frame, that's controlling distance. So that's really important. Right, so if Marie tries to come forward and put my shoulder on the mat, this is a strong frame. I'm pushing here. All right, so our shotgun footlock, what we want to do, the detail on this is I want to bulge my right bicep. So I want to go as deep as we can. All right, so as deep as we can on this. So it's not loose, there should be no daylight between your bicep and the ankle or your lat and their ankle. All right, so this is true, nice and deep. All right, we're always creating tension and we're extending. I'm going to lock up a figure 4 grip, all right? But to make this tighter, what I want to do is I'm just going to roll the top hand through. So I roll my hand through here. All right, so now I'm going wrist bone to forearm here. So not palm to forearm. So I'm going wrist bone to forearm, and then I roll my knuckles down towards the floor. All right, so I'm rolling them down towards the mat. My right shoulder then goes out, and then it goes back towards our big toe to get the tap. So it's a super tight footlock depending on the position that you're in. So again, we'll just do it from, say, from here. Yeah. So again, I'm going to extend. I take my footlock grip, and then I upgrade to this butterfly hook. I put the foot on the hip, and then I reinforce the two of them. Keeping weight on Marie's hands. Remember, what Marie wants is, Marie wants the pressure into it. All right. If Marie starts to, if you go back in your hands, if Marie starts to like bail out in this direction, this is easy to go into heel hooks and so on. All right. So, and I'm on my side. So common mistake, people put the shoulder on the mat. So I want the arm through deep. So bulge your bicep, same as any straight footlock. I don't want to be on the calf. I want to be on the Achilles, but I want to be true deep. I lock up like say a regular figure 4 just for control, like the way you would if you're doing like a trap triangle. And the little detail on it is your top hand, bring your hand up and roll your wrist forward. That creates tension. All right, so I'm then going to bring the shoulder outwards. So you can see there's already pressure. And then the shoulder goes back towards the big toe and I hip up to get the tap. All right, so we leave Marie off. So 3, 2, 1. Like obviously depending on your training partner's response. So just one lad was asking the question: if someone's trying to stack you when you're in this position and you can't, like say, extend to go back to this butterfly ashy position for a shotgun footlock. So if Marie's pressuring me, this just gives me like reverse X, kind of like saddle entry. So depending on where you are with the leg lock game, that's what you're going to get. So again, if I create distance, you know, I can go into the shotgun footlock. Maybe when I'm like in single leg X, if Marie's pressuring me, this allows me to go into saddle entries using reverse X. If Marie tries to bail away, so if she tries to roll, she exposes her heel for outside heel. So it's basically you want to, you know, not force anything, but take what's there, right? So last one. This will be our last same finish, just a different sequence, right? So again, I extend. I want distance on this. Really important. Like, don't be afraid to hip escape in this position. Create as much distance as you can. All right. So foot goes on the hip, and we use this butterfly hook here. I'm always putting weight onto Marie's right hand. All right. Again, if Marie builds up, we'll go into different responses. So finish 1 was what we were working. So this kind of belly up position. If Marie manages to come forward here, it's very easy for me to switch from my left hip and use the momentum to bring her up to my right hip. So if she comes forward, I just basically bring her into this direction here, and we can get an even tighter finish. So the detail on this is common mistake. It's not like a traditional kind of straight foot lock from single leg X where we tuck the elbow under the shoulder. Try stay up in your elbow as much as you can. Again, we want distance and we want tension. The only thing that's going to change on this one is my right foot hooks her knee, because if she can rotate her knee, it's going to be hard to get the tap on the ankle. This leg here, there's loads of positions you can put this one in. I can plant this to the floor. I can put this on the hip, or a really good one to stop her from using her leg is to put the foot on the far leg here. So you play around with the left leg, so it can go far knee, near side hip, or plant it to the floor. All right. Again, I want my foot as close as I can to Marie's knee. Don't tuck your elbow. We lock up the figure 4 grip like we talked about, and I put my shoulder down towards the mat, and then I bring my shoulder back towards her big toe to get the finish. So you can see Marie's using her hands to raise her hips to take the pressure off the footlock. All right. If she does do that in real life, so if you do that to relieve the pressure, this is where we use this foot stomp to put the hips down towards the floor. Sorry. All right. Sorry, it's tight. Yeah. So if you do it one more time, give your ankle a break. Not a real break, but no pun intended. Right, so again, so you stay on your knees, so we extend, we're here, Marie pressures. I basically go from my left hip to my right hip. I use my right butterfly hook to force her on the floor. We hip escape and we get this butterfly grip. Again, plant the foot on the mat, plant the foot on the hip, or put it on the far leg. I'll leave that up to you, right? So again, we get the same grip that we talked about. Keep our elbow on the mat, so we're posted on the elbow, we're not tucking it. Put my shoulder to the floor, and then I bring my shoulder back towards our big toe to get the tap. All right, so that's our last one. 3, 2, 1.